You finished the conversation hours ago. But your mind is still in that room. Replaying what you said. What they meant. What you should have said instead. And the strangest part? You know you're doing it. You watch yourself spiral, and you still can't stop. Most people assume overthinking is a weakness. A bad habit. Something to fix. But what if the real answer is something no one has told you yet? Here's what overthinking actually feels like from the inside. It's not chaos. It's more like a room with too many lights on. Every decision, even small ones, carries weight. What to say. How to say it. Whether you said too much or not enough. You read tone in text messages. You noticed the pause before someone answered you. And the people around you don't always get it. They say, just let it go. But that phrase means nothing to a mind like yours. Because it's not that you won't let go. It's that your brain doesn't have an off switch for meaning making. You lie awake not because you're anxious about nothing. But because you're processing everything. The overthinking bleeds into identity. You start to wonder if something is fundamentally wrong with you. If other people move through life lighter, and why you can't seem to do the same. What you don't realize yet is that your brain is actually doing something rare. And rare doesn't mean broken. Overthinking, at its psychological root, is not dysfunction. It's a sign of a nervous system that evolved to take the world seriously. Research in personality psychology shows that people who overthink consistently score higher in a trait called openness to experience combined with elevated neuroticism, not in the clinical sense, but in the sense that your brain assigns deeper emotional weight to information. Your mind wasn't trained to skim the surface. It was built to go deep. The problem isn't the depth. The problem is that no one ever taught you how to work with that depth instead of being swallowed by it. And it starts by understanding the 5 traits that almost every overthinker carries, without even knowing it. Before the 5 traits, you need to understand what's happening inside the brain. The overthinker's mind has a hyperactive default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for self-referential thinking, simulating futures, and reviewing the past. Think of it like a search engine that never stops running background queries. Most people's search engine goes idle. Yours keeps searching. Neuroscience calls this rumination, but that word makes it sound pathological. What it really is, your brain believes that if it thinks long enough, it will find safety. Certainty. The right answer. The mental model is simple, your brain treats uncertainty like a threat. Overthinking is the armor. The armor is heavy. But it was built for a reason. Now here are the 5 traits hidden inside that armor. Trait 1, hyperempathy. You don't just hear what someone says. You feel what they meant. Psychologists call this affective empathy, the ability to absorb and mirror the emotional states of others at a neurological level. Your mirror neurons fire more intensely. You carry other people's energy without choosing to. This is why you overthink conversations. You're not replaying words. You're replaying feelings. Theirs and yours tangled together. The cost, exhaustion, overanalysis of relationships. The gift, you understand people in ways that most never will. Trait 2, high perceptual sensitivity. Your nervous system picks up more than average. Noise, light, texture, tone, body language, it all registers. Psychologist Elaine Aron's research on highly sensitive persons shows that approximately 20% of the population has a nervous system that processes sensory data more deeply at a neurological level. This isn't fragility. It's high-resolution perception. But high resolution means more data. More data means more to process. More to process means the mind stays busy long after others have moved on. Trait 3, depth of processing. You rarely accept things at face value. There's always a layer beneath. A reason behind the reason. A pattern underneath the behavior. This is called elaborative encoding in cognitive psychology, the tendency to connect new information to existing frameworks, emotions, and memories before storing it. It makes you an exceptional thinker. It also makes a simple decision feel like a philosophy exam. Trait 4, intolerance of uncertainty. Your brain experiences uncertainty as physical discomfort. Not metaphorically. Literally. Neuroscience research shows that uncertain outcomes activate the brain's threat detection system, the amygdala, with similar intensity to known negative outcomes. Your brain would sometimes rather expect the worst than sit in the unknown. So it keeps thinking. Keeps analyzing. Not out of pessimism, out of a deep need to feel prepared. The pattern, uncertainty leads to threat response, which leads to overthinking as a control mechanism. Understanding this changes everything about how you relate to your own mind. Trait 5, an unusually strong inner moral compass. You care deeply about getting things right. Not just factually. Ethically. Relationally. Emotionally. This connects to a psychological construct called conscientiousness, one of the big 5 personality traits, and research consistently shows that people high in conscientiousness overthink decisions because the consequences feel significant to them. You're not overthinking because you're weak. You're overthinking because you care more. So what do you do with all of this? Not fight it. Work with it. Here's how. Step 1, name the loop. When you catch yourself spiraling, say internally, my search engine is running. Why it works, naming an experience activates the prefrontal cortex, the rational brain, and creates a small but real separation between you and the thought. Psychologists call this cognitive diffusion. Real-life moment, you're replaying a meeting. Instead of engaging with every thought, you simply note, search engine running, and let it process in the background without feeding it attention. Step 2, give the mind a closing ritual. Overthinking spikes at night because the brain has unfinished loops. Create a 5-minute end-of-day writing ritual. Not journaling for insight, just a data dump. Every open thought, written down. Why it works, writing externalizes the mental load. Research shows it reduces the brain's need to keep information active in working memory. The loop closes because the brain trusts it's been recorded. Step 3, set a thinking window. Give your mind a designated time to analyze. I will think about this at 8 in the evening for 15 minutes. Why it works, this isn't avoidance, it's structured permission. It trains the brain to delay the loop without suppressing it. Studies on worry postponement show significant reductions in anxiety when thoughts are scheduled rather than resisted. Step 4, replace certainty seeking with curiosity. Instead of asking, what is the right answer? Ask, what would I do if I could handle either outcome? Why it works, this shifts the brain from threat detection mode into exploratory mode. The question doesn't need a perfect answer. It just needs enough psychological safety to move forward. Step 5, protect your input. High perceptual sensitivity means your nervous system is always processing. Reduce unnecessary input, quieter environments, slower mornings, intentional media consumption. Why it works, every stimulus your brain processes competes for cognitive resources. Less noise means more space for your natural depth to work for you instead of against you. Here is the one model to carry with you. Your mind is a high-powered lens. A lens that powerful doesn't need to be pointed at everything. It needs direction. The work isn't to think less. It's to aim better, and trust that depth, used wisely, is one of the rarest things a person can offer the world. You've spent a long time wondering why your mind won't rest. Maybe the more honest question is, what has this mind protected you from? What has it helped you understand that others missed? The overthinking was never the enemy. It was just a tool looking for better hands to hold it. And now you know what those hands look like. The mind that thinks the most deeply, once understood, becomes the one that sees the furthest.
If this resonated, stay.